This is a fast guide for the Wild Rose Talltale in Sea of Thieves that covers all commendations. To begin, you'll be starting at Sanctuary Outpost and heading to the Order of Souls 10 where you can find the Talltale book. Once you've selected it, open your quest book and head to the last page. Here you can find the island you should be going to dig up the chest. There are 3 islands that this chest could be at, so here are the locations. If your book says Rapier Cay, head to the most west side where you can dig up the chest right here. If your book says Sandy Shallows, head to the north side by the rocks, and you should be able to find it if you dig somewhere around here. And if your book says Boulder Cay, head to the middle of the island and dig right here and you should be able to find the chest. Opening the chest, you'll receive some more pages that will give you 2 specific phrases that will direct you to go to 2 different islands to dig up the box of spices and the music box. Here are the possible locations. If you have Our First Kiss, head to the west side of Lagoon of Whispers and you can find the item buried right here. If you have We Survived Our First Ambush, head to the east side of Cannon Cove and you can find the item if you dig around this spot here. If you have Pig Chase, head to this spot on Salty Sands where you can find the item buried somewhere near the water here. If you have Doing What I Do Best, you should be going to the center of Boulder Cay and you can find it if you dig between these trees here. If you have Day 81, head to the south side of Lonely Isle and you should be able to find it if you dig somewhere along the side here. If you have The Day We Found Our Pendants, you should be going to the north side of Sea Dog's Rest and you'll find the item buried right here. If you have The Argument, you should head to the northwest side of Twin Groves and you can find the item buried between the tree and rocks here. If you have Our First Dance, head to this spot on Wanderer's Refuge and you can find it if you dig next to this tree here. If you have The Perfect Plans, head to the north side of Sailor's Bounty and you can find the item buried under these lights here. If you have Our First Bounty, head to the west side of Lone Cove and you should dig next to this tree and rock here. If you have Our Vows, head to the south side of Smuggler's Bay where you can find the item next to the top bridge and buried in this spot right here. Now that you have both items, head back to Sanctuary Outpost and give the items to Madame Olive at the Order of Souls. You can then pick up the compass she gives you and head back to your ship. You'll now be following the compass, which will take you to 2 different islands where you'll retrieve 2 pendants. One will take you to the Skeleton of Rose, so grab the notes and pendant and then head back to your ship to go to the next island. Once you get there, you'll have to fight Rook and then pick up the pendant that they drop when you defeat them. The last step is to take both of the pendants back to Sanctuary Outposts and give them to Madame Olive, and that concludes the Talltale.
Rose.
Now you'll have to do this quest 5 times in total and also find the 5 journals once to complete all the commendations. So here are the 5 journal locations. The first journal is at the center of Lone Cove and you can find it next to the big rock in the middle. The second journal is at this spot on Cannon Cove and you can find it right here under this barrel. The third journal is at the east side of Lagoon of Whispers and you'll find it on the top of this barrel right here. The fourth journal is at Rapier Cay and you can find it on the side by these pots. And the fifth and final journal is at this spot on Sailor's Bounty where you can find it to the right side of these barrels here. And that completes all the Wild Rose commendations. I hope this guide was helpful and thanks for watching.